Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to my channel, to our coffee times together, and today I'm here to give you my input on Terminator Dark Fate.
It's coffee time.
So I grew up with a dad that loved Arnold and Van Damme and Stallone and all of those movies, and thankfully for me, I was allowed to watch those movies with him, and I fell in love with Terminator. And so when they said that Terminator was coming back with Linda Hamilton, I was stoked. Now, was this my favorite Terminator? No. It had a lot of issues. This movie had a lot of issues. I think a lot of us got so excited that we got to see Linda Hamilton again that we kind of, forgave a lot of things from this movie, but it had so much potential and it failed in so many ways. But anyways, let's go and check out the facts first. This is a 2019 American science fiction movie directed by Tim Miller, and it is supposed to be a direct sequel to Terminator from 1984 and Terminator Judgment Day from 1991. And I was really excited because for the first time Linda Hamilton was going to come back to reprise her role as Sarah Connor, which is something that we've all wanted for years, and everybody was so excited about this that I think that's the main reason why we still enjoyed the movie even though it had a lot of flaws. And I was expecting kind of like a different plot, I guess, and I was a little bit disappointed by the direction that they went with. So James Cameron was actually returning again, and he was going to produce this movie, which is something that gave me hope. And then they said Linda Hamilton is coming back and Arnold is gonna be there too, and I was like, yes, thank Satan. And then they said, or somebody slipped, I think it was James Cameron that slipped and said that Edward Furlong was gonna be to see in the movie as John Connor, and everybody lost their S, okay? Everybody lost it, and we were all really excited. And man, what a way to crush someone's feelings. That's all I'm gonna say about John Connor, because this is a spoiler-free review. As an action movie, this would have been just fantastic, but as a sequel to Terminator, it fell flat. But anyways, it was better than anything that came after Terminator 2 for me, in my opinion. I know some people did like other of the sequels, but for me, after Terminator 2, this is my favorite. This movie is set 25 years after Terminator 2, and basically we get a new model of Terminator that is being sent back to 2020 to kill and terminate Danny, because she's supposed to raise up a resistance, and so the Terminators want her gone, want her terminated. And then there's also somebody else that is being sent to 2020, which is Grace. She is an augmented human. She's a human, but she has robot pieces that are making her, have special abilities and strength. She's like a modified human, but not a Terminator, and she's being sent to protect Danny from the Terminator. Also in this journey to protect Danny, we have Linda Hamilton that came back as Sarah Connor for this movie, and she joins Grace in order to protect Danny from the Terminator because she has experience fighting against them. So they are kind of both trying to protect Danny. And of course we have our beloved Arnold Schwarzenegger that comes back again as T-800. This feels like a little bit of a recycled plot, so that's one of the things that I did not like about this movie, is that they could have went for something totally different, something a little bit more, like something we have not seen before. They could have shown a little bit more of the possible future if the Terminators take over. They could have shown so many things, but it felt a little bit like a, already done plot. I get that they were trying to go back to the origins, but I think they forgot that this was a completely new movie and it just felt too much like the original movies. As for Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back as T-800, obviously me being such a huge fan of Arnold, I was so happy to see him back, and of course this kind of influences my opinion. But if I am completely objective in these, I think that the way they developed his character was a little bit unrealistic. I don't think it's something that would have really happened. However, I thought his character was really funny. I loved all his sentences. It was such a joy to see him back, you know, that, you know, I loved it for what it was, for the nostalgia, for Arnold, for the character. But the way that they went with his character, like I said, felt really unrealistic. The person that really took it home for me was Linda Hamilton coming back as Sarah Connor. I think she did an amazing job, and we got to see a little bit more of the arc of the character. We got to get to know her a little bit better, a little bit deeper. I just love to see her back so much. Now Linda Hamilton has said this is going to be her last Terminator movie, and I totally understand. I'm just thankful that she came back for it one more time, and it made the movie a little bit emotional for me. And there was one point in the movie, there was a scene, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it has to do with T-800 and Linda Hamilton, that I shed a little tear, and you know, it was very emotional for me. And the other person that had an outstanding performance was Mackenzie Davis as Grace. She is basically a human that has been tampered with, and she has now robot parts in her, and she's like an augmented human, like a better version of a human. And her, you know, character had a lot of action scenes and had a lot of tough moments, and I think her acting was amazing. She's also one of the characters we get to see the most throughout the movie, and she had a real evolution as a character, and we really got to know her, and I really appreciated that as well. And yeah, I think she did an amazing job. Things that I loved about this movie, obviously seeing Arnold and Linda back, like I said, but I also love the new Terminator, the RV9, because I think it was genius to make him split between the cybernetic endoskeleton and the other part of him, and those split moments were fantastic. I really loved all the CG that they did there, and I thought that was a great add-in to the Terminators. The acting was really great. I think everybody did a great job. All of the different characters for me did a great job when it comes to the acting. There's a couple of lines, or at least one in particular, that was taken from the original movies that they tried to bring, but another character said that line, and for me didn't land as well. I don't know, if you watch the movie maybe you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I think they tried there, but it didn't land for me. Something I did not like about the movie is that they focus so much on the action, and every time was action taken to the limit, all the time, non-stop, things exploding, fighting, and car chases, and weapons, and that you kind of don't feel fear anymore about something happening to any of the characters, because it's just like this non-stop unrealistic action all the time. And also the main character Danny, which we're supposed to fear for her life, we don't, because they didn't take enough time. I think at the beginning they tried, but we didn't really connect with the character before she was being put in jeopardy, so in a way we never were really rooting for her. So yeah, I think those are things that I didn't like so much about the movie. And other things that, you know, I'm not gonna mention because they are spoilers, but I just felt like a lot of the stuff in the movie was just too convenient and unrealistic. I mean, we're talking about a possible future in Terminators that's already a little bit unrealistic, but you know, even then there are things that I thought were just too convenient and didn't feel right to me. But you know, I think the reason why I like this movie is just because it's nostalgic to me, and I love the characters that we got to know in Terminator 1 and 2. So I feel like this is more for people like me that love the first two movies, but even then there might be a lot of people that are really bitter about this one and might hate it a lot. I just enjoyed it for what it was, more an action movie with a couple of characters that I liked than anything else. I'm gonna end up giving this movie a rating of 6.5 out of 10 because I think the acting was really great. I did love some of the characters like Grace. I think she was a great new character. I love to see Linda back. Her performance was amazing. I love how funny Arnold was. I love the new Terminator design that they did. So there were some things that I did enjoy, but all in all it felt like a recycled plot, and it felt like just action all the time. And yeah, there were things that, you know, were not that great. So that's why I decided to give a 6.5 out of 10, which I think it's very generous. If you already watched the movie, let me know down below your thoughts on it, and also let me know which is your favorite Terminator movie. I'll be curious to know. Or maybe what of the sequels after Terminator 2 is your favorite one, if there's any. So let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this spoiler-free movie review. Thanks so much for watching. Please give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and also remember to hit the notification bell. I also have a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The links to those are on the description box down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!